There are no good guys left in New York. Why do all New York men suck? Now, I used to believe this. I used to think all New York men suck until I cracked the code. In New York City, there's an even split between great guys and objectively shitty guys. 50-50, simple as that. But within the 50% of objectively great guys, there's only 20% that are available. And this is because the other 30% are cuffed. They're in a relationship. So that's why it feels like there are no great guys, because there's only 20% of them that you can actually have. And they're scarce. They're kind of, you never know where they're gonna be. Are they gonna be in a coffee shop? Are they gonna be in a Barnes & Noble? Probably not. And while the city does attract certain rats, there's equally great rats out there. They're just more scarce because half of them have been snatched.
This is where girl math gets modern women. Even when she's trying to say that there are good men in New York City, she still has to refer to those good men as rats. It's never once occurred to her that men don't like to be insulted like that, but hey. Men have walked away and left modern women in the dust. We've got a video for you here today from Man Reacts. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in, and let's get into it.
Okay, ladies, I hate to say it, but I have to say it because I am sick of this, and I'm speaking to myself. Why do we never give the nice guy the chance? Like, why do we look at the nice guy like the ones who's just annoying and just thirsty and they're always available and not attractive to us? And meanwhile, we're complaining that we're getting dogged out, that we're dealing with manipulative, narcissistic men who can't treat a woman right. Not even men, little boys who don't know how to treat a woman right, who just fumble us all the time. Like, we complain that we get treated like that, but 9 times out of 10, we overlooked the nice guy to deal with this man. Boy.
That's because modern women don't want nice. They don't want men who will treat them with respect or kindness a lot of the times, because those men are boring. There won't be a spark of chemistry there, and she'll just go back to the bad boys because they fill her life with excitement.
Like, I don't get it. Why do we do that? In 2024, can we stop doing that? I'm speaking to myself too, because I hate that I do this too. Like, can we give the nice guys a chance? Let's give the nice guys a chance. I want the nice guy. I want the guy that's texting me, "Good morning, beautiful. I hope you have an amazing day today because you're such a blessing and I'm grateful to know you." Like, I want that guy. I don't want the guy that's texting me, "Hey, what's up?" Can we stop doing that? This is not it. Like, in 2024, we're going for the nice guys.
Even when she's saying that she wants a nice guy, all she wants is some man to fulfill her fantasy of sending her poetic texts and making her feel like a princess. She's thinking that she's being reasonable, but all she's doing is forcing her expectations from Chad onto average men.
To all of my fellow single 30-year-old girlies, where are we meeting men if it's not dating apps? Because I'm about to boycott Hinge for like the 50th time. I feel like the matches are just not it.
She really needs to look up the word boycott. If she's boycotted a dating app over 50 times, then that means she hasn't boycotted anything. She just quit the app only to come back again and again.
And the men on Hinge are also not it. Like, they're either emotionally unavailable, which I don't understand being on a dating app if your intention isn't to date, or at least be clear about your intention. Yeah, so where are we meeting them? And I know it's not at a bar or a club, because we're kind of past that stage value.
One thing she will never understand is that the dating apps are doing their job perfectly. They aren't designed to get her a boyfriend. I mean, she could get a boyfriend even though these women are ridiculous. But again, you know, these women are just addicted to the dopamine.
I want my person. Why is it so hard to find your person? I'm tired. You know, it's really hard when love is the one thing you can't force. You can't make it happen. It has to just show up, but where is it? Where is it? I'm so ready, and I have a beautiful life waiting for the perfect man to show up.
When she's talking about finding her person, she has no idea how emotionally detached she is from other people. She's not actually looking for love. She's just looking for another possession to give her a temporary fix of validation before she gets bored and tries to find a new trinket.
I figured it out. I know why good guys finish last. I already have a video about nice guys and how they're boring, if you want to go check that out in my earlier videos. But I have an analogy, and I think this might be easy for some people to grasp. When it comes to good guys, let's just say you say to them, "Hey, let's build a cake." I'm gonna make the cake, but you buy the items. They show up with just flour. And you look at them and say, where's the eggs? Where's the butter? Where's the icing? They will be screaming at you like, I brought the flour.
That cake analogy doesn't work because she clearly doesn't know how to bake, and most modern women can't even be bothered to bring the flour. They'll say that they can bring the flour, but he should do it anyway because her presence should be enough to bake the thing.
That's all we need, the flour. And you're like, but how are we gonna make the cake with just flour? And then they'll try to convince you and go on as to why flour is the only thing that's necessary for building the cake. That's exactly how they are in relationships. They just bring the fact that they are loyal and faithful and think that's going to be enough to sustain a healthy, long-lasting relationship. As we all know, that is the bare minimum requirement to enter a relationship. You have to have a lot more about you that makes people even want to choose you. What else can you bring to the table that makes me feel like, you know what, I can sit here and eat here and for a very long time?
It's ironic that she's saying that men bringing kindness and loyalty are the bare minimum to make a relationship work, but with this rant, she's making it clear she's not capable of either. So by her own logic, she doesn't even bring the bare minimum to the table.
So if you're over 30 and single, listen to my rant, please. Where do you find guys? And don't tell me online dating. No, I'm not going to believe you. If you just go, hey, online dating, found them on Bumble. Yeah, so did 3 of my best friends, like Hinge, Bumble, and Tinder, actually. But, like, not now. Not in 2023. We're not finding people online. Like, they just want our money. They don't want our love. So, where do you meet them? And then I've been getting TikToks, it's like, leave the house. It's like, okay, I'll leave the house. Where am I going?
It's kind of difficult to believe that the men on dating apps are just interested in a modern woman's money when your average modern woman is in such catastrophic debt that it would take them a whole lifetime to pay it off. And I say this every time, guys, but men don't care about a woman's money. We don't care about the career. We don't care about any of that.
Women would say that men control hookup culture and it's men's fault. That's false. Hookup culture is actually women that control it. We control hookup culture because we're the gatekeepers of sex. And if guys aren't getting it, then they're gonna have to commit. That's just how it is. So the faster women realize that, the better it is, and the sooner this hookup culture ends. Simple.
She has no idea how dumb that sounds. If a woman has to withhold bedroom fun to try and manipulate a guy into committing to her, then she has already proven how little she has to offer a man, and most men can see right through that crappy game.
This comment was just too good not to respond to. I honestly think it is true that men nowadays are uninterested in the dating game. And they're most likely the good ones, which then leaves us ladies having bad experiences, and then we, in hand, want to get off the dating scene. So then we're both left screwed because all the good ones are out of the dating scene and aren't interested. When is this going to change, though? Maybe we all need to come back together and make it work?
Why should men come back to the very same women who spent literal decades going online and ripping average dudes a new one for the crime of existing? We're not going back to the women who openly despise us simply because they're desperate. That is honestly their problem.
The reason why dating feels so incredibly hard right now is because we currently have gender wars. But we also have an imbalance of energy. More men are now turning more passive, okay, which is deemed as feminine trait, and more women are turning more masculine. When you have gender wars, there will be no harmony. There will be no let's exist in peace. It's really every man for themselves.
And who waged this gender war, quote unquote, exactly? Modern women have made it no secret that average men were never going to be good enough for them, so men walked away from women who insisted that the best way to live was to be as masculine and as insufferable as possible.
Women have got to a point now where they realize they don't need men for survival. So men are now panicking because in order for a man to feel good about himself, he needs to feel needed. But women don't really need you guys anymore. They don't. I know so many women who are like marriage-free, child-free, living life, happy, growing, thriving, like the list goes on.
If women are child-free, happy, and living their so-called best lives, then why should they care about men? Why should men step up to meet these women's expectations when they've made it clear that they don't need us? Seems like a complete waste of time.
So this is the problem that men are having. The reason why it was easier for you guys to date women back in the day was because women actually didn't have options. They didn't have avenues that they can go down. So women were actually coming from a place of scarcity rather than abundance. Now, women have an abundant mindset. They don't need to settle. They do not. They actually don't. Men want us to settle because if women don't settle, then that means men aren't going to be picked anymore.
Men are not panicking about modern women. Most of us don't care. Women like this made their choices in life. They chose to become cold, emotionally unhinged, psychologically damaged, and cat collectors by the age of 35, which, by the way, is hilarious. They chose to be alone, and that has nothing to do with us.
Dating as a 31-year-old woman is truly just a humiliation ritual. Like, I wrote the most thoughtful, tender, sincere little paragraphs I've ever written in my life. The type of energy that I should have reserved for, I don't know, a birthday card to my mom went into this message. And of course, I was left unread. Over 24 hours, I go on, I see this 35-year-old man's stories, and he's posted the most low quality, dumb meme I've ever seen in my life. And I'm over here typing away like Emily Dickinson. And this is only the tip of the iceberg of the last few years.
This woman is honestly creepy to me for a whole bunch of different reasons here, and yet she's complaining that men aren't showering her with love. It's always funny to me when women make videos like this complaining that men don't love them. Like, come on, why don't we go outside? Why don't we stop it with the TikTok videos and maybe try and at least act a little bit more human? But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Click this video that's up on the screen now if you want to see more. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.